here. This is another episode of Gina's Garage. I'm actually here at Claunch's Tire and Service in Burley, and I've got Dennis. He is the owner, and we're going to be talking about proper tire care and then your tire wear if you don't properly take care of your tires. Now, for the ladies, you want to equate your tires basically like you would your shoes. If your shoes get worn out, you buy yourself a new set of shoes. Well, the car's kind of the same thing, where if your tires get worn out, you have to buy your vehicle a new pair of shoes. So that's kind of basically what it equates to. And so first and foremost, there's something that we like to address, which is proper tire care. Making sure that your tires are properly inflated, make sure that your alignment is proper, because that all dictates how your tires are going to wear. So Dennis, why don't you tell me a little bit about proper tire care? What would somebody need to do to their vehicle to make sure that they keep their tires in proper condition?
Well, the first thing that comes to my mind right now is that there's two things that are most critical. Mm-hmm. One of them is proper air pressure and doing your tire rotations regularly.
Okay, so when would you suggest somebody doing their tire rotation? Like every 6 months or something like that?
You should do that every 5,000 miles,
okay.
5 or 6,000 right in there. But you should come in monthly to get your tire pressure checked.
Okay.
And it's right in the owner's manual, which we don't ever read, do we?
A lot of times, a lot of people don't. So on an average, so for a regular passenger vehicle, what would the proper tire pressure be? I realize it's vehicle specific.
It is vehicle specific.
Okay.
It didn't used to be that way, but it is more now than ever. And if you want to look and know what your car requires, if you look right on the door molding inside the driver's side door, mm-hmm. there's usually a sticker there that tells you how much air pressure you should have in your tires.
And doesn't it also list it on the side of the tires as well?
Well, that's just a maximum air pressure.
Okay.
That's not specific to your car.
Gotcha.
Or to your pickup.
I just learned something new.
So,
okay, so what would happen if you didn't have your tires aired up enough? What would the tire look like, and what would happen to your car?
well, we have a tire right here. It's kind of a visual of it, but if you see right here on the two outside edges, that's worn down a little bit more than the middle.
Okay.
That's typical of not having enough air in your tires. If you took this same tire and you flip-flopped it and this part was worn out and this was still good, then that means you have too much air in your tires.
So that would be overinflation.
Overinflation.
Okay, so what happens to your tires? Maybe your tire is a little bit out of balance. What happens then?
You look at this tire right here and it has some cupping on it. Now this can not only be from balancing, it can also be from mechanical issues, like maybe your shocks or your struts are not as good as they should be.
Okay.
And you can get wear like that, or you can, like say, out of balance, not enough air. There's several things when you start getting cupping in them.
So this could mean a larger issue
Yep.
than just your tires. Then you need to look at your suspension and things like that.
Right.
Okay, so what would happen? Okay, so you're driving down the road and you let go of the wheel just to see if you're going to go straight, and you veer to the left or to the right. That means you've got an alignment problem, correct?
Typically, yes.
Okay, so how does that look on your tires?
That, if you'll look at this tire right here, this tire is worn a lot more on this edge than over here. That tells us that there is something probably wrong in the alignment. It may be I won't get too technical, but your tire is not sitting like it should, and so it's wearing more on this edge than the rest.
Okay, so what would you suggest if something like this happens? Obviously, then you need to come in and get an alignment. If tires have regular normal wear and tear, so you take a penny and you stick it down in between the thread or the tread of the tire.
Right.
How far would you suggest somebody go before it's time to get a new set of tires?
Well, with the penny, the rule of thumb was always Lincoln's head.
Okay.
Right? But the best way to do it, and the manufacturer puts it right in the tire. I don't know if you can see this very well, Scotty, but right there's a little bar, and it runs across the tire, and it's at intervals around the tire. If that bar across there, if you get any smooth spot, right there, then that's telling you that your tire is worn out. That's replacement time.
Okay, so what happens when, now we've heard about tires separating. What happens what's going on with the tire when it separates?
That's when it comes apart inside. The construction of it is coming apart.
Okay.
And you'll feel that could cause a pull if it's on the front, or you may just get a ride disturbance.
Okay, and then what if somebody is actually seeing cables in their tires?
That means you should have gotten tires before.
Right?
I have something that comes to mind though.
Okay.
So you ask about the separations in the tire. Tires are made really good nowadays.
Okay.
All brands are really made pretty good because of all the technology. If you get one that's separated, it doesn't mean that the manufacturer made a mistake in what they did. The majority of the separations and the bulges that we get in tires are from road damage. That means you hit a pothole when you shouldn't have, or
going too fast.
You hit something too hard and it's damaged the tire. I call it like dropping an apple on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow or a couple of days later you see a bruise in it or a soft spot.
Right. That
can happen to your tire. It may take a month, but you might hit a pothole today and think, oh, I made it through that one. But in 2 months you may have a problem, so watch for the objects in the road.
Okay. And then one more thing that we should probably discuss that a lot of people don't know, there is a difference between retreads and then just a regular tread. So why don't you discuss what a retread is, and then a tire that comes new from not a retread center.
Well, in passenger car tires,
yes,
we don't see retreads hardly at all anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I attribute that to being able to make an economically priced new tire, and so it doesn't justify recapping passenger tires.
So we're seeing mostly retreads in like the big truck tires, like semi tires and things like that?
Yes.
Okay, and then all of those big boys should know what they're doing.
Yeah, they should.
All right. So that's pretty much it for proper tire wear, proper tire care, and what do you suggest to take care of your tires?
Be sure you get the air checked at least once a month and keep them rotated like we mentioned earlier. And you can come into our place if you would like, and we do that, the tire pressure check each month. We have lots of people that just pull up and we check their air, and we'll help you take care of them.
All right, Dennis, what's your location?
219 East Main Street in Burley, Idaho.
All right, Claunch's Tire and Service. This is another episode of Gina's Garage with Dennis at Claunch's Tire.